guys, welcome back to We Gonna Talk About It. It's your girl Kenyatta. I'm so blessed to be here with you again this evening. Did you guys have a wonderful day? I hope you did because that's what God intended us to have a wonderful day. So, guys, tonight's topic is: do you teach your children to defend themselves in this day and age? Meaning, do you teach your child if somebody hits them to hit them back? Or do you tell them, don't stoop down to their level? Don't touch them. Don't hit them back. It's wrong to hit people. Well, I always give my opinion, guys, and this is to each his own. We need to talk about this. I believe, a lot of children are being bullied nowadays because um, they're being targeted. I always say you can't judge a book by its cover. I think children are sometimes very mean. And I think when somebody hits your child has the right to slap them back, punch them back, kick them back. And it's just how I feel. I don't need to keep that a secret from Jesus. He knows how I feel. Let me tell you something. If somebody is attacking you and you're an adult, are you going to stand there and be somebody's punching bag? Why would you teach your children to do that? Why can't they defend themselves the same way that we would? This is not condoning violence. This is not, promoting violence. This is simply somebody attacking your child for no reason. You're not teaching your child to be a bully. You're not teaching your child to go and hit somebody first. You're telling your child if somebody hits you, you need to finish it. I am a believer of that. I have always told my son, if somebody hits you, I don't care if it's a girl or a boy, everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves. If a girl hits you, I always told him this: tell her first, don't hit me no more. You put your hands on me again, I'm going to treat you just like you treated me. Okay? I always say, give the girl that speech first. And then guess what? If she do it a second time, go ham. Because you don't want her already. You can't be doing that. I mean, I just don't feel like people should teach their children to not fight back. Why would you do that? I believe it really makes them a target because after that one person sees that they can attack them, you know, it's like a domino effect. Other kids start doing it too. And then you have a whole bullying situation. There's just a club of bullies doing it. There's just a club of children fighting your child because they know that he's going to stand there and do nothing. Well, he going to pull up in the corner and cry. Nah, my child ain't doing that, boo-boo. When Pudding was growing up, I always taught him, don't ever put your hands on somebody that did not put their hands on you first. Okay? You can't do that. It's not nice. But I have always told my son as well, if somebody hits you and they're trying to hurt you, you know that you hurt because when somebody hits you, your reaction is to cry. Okay? If you get to crying and that person hits you, you better go crazy. And don't come for me. You don't want nobody hurting your child, okay? Nobody's child should be a punching bag. Sometimes people have to be taught a lesson. And this will teach that little bully next time that hit your child that he or she will not do it again. They will think twice. When Pudding was little, he was a big little boy. He was a fat little thing. Okay? He ain't never got bullied. You know why? Because I used to teach him, you don't even have to, fight. You just gotta have the look. Like you ain't playing. You give people that look sometime, you ain't gotta fight them. Okay? You know what look I'm talking about. It's just in you. They know to leave you alone. They know to fall back. Because if they don't, Their head is gonna be in the cement somewhere. Okay. And the teacher, the principal, everybody over there in that school, they could be calling me and everything. Yes, I'm gonna go to the school. I'm gonna pick pudding up. And guess what? When I'm in the office with the principal, she got me telling me, yeah, you know, he hit it. And I'm gonna say, what did that boy or that girl do to my child? He has been taught not to put his hands on people. And I know he's never done that. Like my son has always, we used to call my son the gentle giant. Like my brother-in-law gave him that name because he was so like big, and you would think that he would be wrecking shop everywhere, but he wasn't like that. He was the gentlest, kindest boy. But if you picked on him and you hit him, I'm not saying just pick with words. I'm talking about you tried to fight him, you tried to hurt him, you kicked him, you know what I'm saying? You put him in a headlock. He you gonna be sorry. You know, you need to teach your kids to protect themselves. This is not, this day and age, like I'm so sick of hearing about kids being bullies. It's not right. It messes up the kids where they don't even want to go to school. Kids are there to go to school to learn. And if they can't learn in school because they're being picked on, they're being bullied, they're being hit, how do you expect them to learn? How? We are not there in the school with our children, guys. So what we teach them at home is what they need to go to school with. We need to teach them, yes, far and foremost, no bullying, no touching another person unless they touch you. Okay? You don't do that. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, you shouldn't fight fire with fire. I'm a believer of that once you get an adult. Like I will tell you, if somebody goes up, I go down. I'm 47 years old. We're talking about children, okay? When you're an adult, you learn how to do them things. But when you're a child and you're going to school, I believe some kids are meaner than adults. And you want your kids to be picked on? No. You want them to be hit, slapped, and knocked in the head with book bags and stuff, taking their lunch money? No. Mm-mm. No, I'm sorry. No. When I was growing up, um, I'm a 70s baby. So when I was growing up and I was, in the 90s, 80s, and I was going to school, my mother taught me to fight back. That was known in our household. That's just what we did. We wasn't troublesome kids. But if you attacked us physically, you was getting a beat down. And you got lucky enough basically to get a beat down from me. And don't let me have to go back home and I got beat up. Cause then all my cousins is going and you getting jumped. That's how it was back in the days. There was none of this like this. I don't remember, guys. I'm being honest with you. I can't remember so far back when I was in high school and junior high and elementary school. I don't remember ever getting bullied. I don't remember seeing people getting bullied neither. I seen people like, how you put nah, 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 that little stuff. But this stuff that's making kids want to commit suicide, not go to school, this is something else. Like these kids are mean. What happened to the regular little kitty stuff? Kitty games we would call them. Not bullying. It's terrible. I one of my friends, she has a nephew, and he's the sweetest little boy. The sweetest little boy. Could you believe somebody's picking on him? 10 years old, a bully is bullying him. God have mercy on that boy's soul. I'm serious. It's just terrible. Where he doesn't even want to go to school and he's smart, so bright. You could dim somebody's light within them by bullying them. We need to teach our children not to bully, not to make fun of people that are different. People are different for a reason. God didn't make all of us the same. You know, what kind of people and world would we have if everybody was the same? It's not that way. And I don't like it when I hear those things, especially when you know a child is so bright and could go so far in this world just by, just by talking to them, that they're so educated. It dims their light when somebody is bullying them and they don't even know what to do about it. The schools don't do anything. It's terrible. It is terrible that these parents are going to the school, telling the school, this is what is happening to my child. He's being bullied, and they do nothing. They do nothing. So, where you are up against basically making a hard choice of pulling your child out of school and literally can't even, you can't even send your children to school. You're gonna put them in on a cyber school where they're online learning. Why should his why should that be taken away from him to socialize with his other peers just because one idiotic child is bullying him? This is not right, guys. What do you tell your children nowadays? What are you teaching them? Are you telling them don't stand for this? Are you telling them if somebody hits you, you have a right to protect yourself? Fight back. What are you telling them? I want to hear it. Drop comments, guys. What are your beliefs these days? I understand times are different, and when we went to school, it was a different scenario. I understand that. But, I just feel like this is a serious thing when children are starting to kill themselves because they've been bullied. This is not how it's supposed to be, guys. And I just really feel, I mean, deep down in my soul, guys, I really feel if we would go back and teach our children like our parents taught us, I'm talking about me, guys, and I'm sure most of us, our parents told us, you better not be nobody's punching bag. My mother has a whole bunch of sisters, okay? And my grandfather, a Cherokee Indian man, my grandmother was African American. My grandfather had all girls and one boy, okay? When one would fight, if they would get beat up, they'd come home and get the rest of the sisters. He would send them with pipes. You hear me? Pipes to go fight that person that beat up their sister or fought their sister. This is an old man from back in the days. God rest his soul. God rest my grandmother, my nana's soul. They taught my aunts and them, you're not going to be nobody's punching bag. You better go back out there. My own Aunt Shahardy, my youngest aunt, God rest her soul. I got in a fight with a little boy. Like I told you, I didn't fight girls. A lot of times the physical fights I would get in would be with guys. And I had a fight. I never forget. I was down the street. I had a fight. I came home crying. And my Aunt Shahardy told me, why are you crying, Kenyatta? And I said, Auntie, he hit me and he kicked me in my stomach and he took my bike. My aunt beat me, spanked me, and made me go down the block with her and fight that boy again. Yeah, he got the life beat out of him too, because I wasn't getting another whooping for him whooping me. That is how I was raised. I don't know no other way. You know what I'm saying? Like as an adult, yes. I'm talking about children. Children are mean. I don't care what you guys say. Some children are very mean. They're just that way. And sometimes they need to get the back blown out of them. Seriously. Like you can't be picking on people's children. So what are you teaching your children? What are you willing for your children to accept? Are you willing for your child to be a punching bag to somebody else? Because you think it's not right? It's not right, but it ain't right for your child to be getting bullied neither. You want your child up in the corner in his room saying he gonna commit suicide because he's being bullied at school? He's getting his lunch money taken away from him. Why can't we teach our children to defend? They need to defend themselves. This is a different day and age, guys. The bullying is like terrible. It's like to the 10th power. I've never seen nothing like this. And the schools are really not doing anything. Maybe they need to teach some kind of classes. Well, I do believe that, but we know Trump is cutting off everything. He is like, soon the kids might not be able to go to school because Trump is he cutting out everything. He's taking away everything. But listen, if it was so and there was some kind of federal money or government money, I don't know where they get it from. Can't they make some kind of a class, like an extra curriculum class for the children to teach them that bullying is not right? That hitting and punching another child for no reason is not right? It can't they do something like that? Don't you think because all of these children that have killed themselves and committed suicide, don't you think that the school would think that this is necessary? The government would think that this is necessary to put funds behind this? I just think nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. You know, they don't care about our children. They don't care about our well being. It's just terrible. So, guess what? If they won't do it, they won't teach the kids, even though we're teaching them at home. You got to put you got to implement that at home. And now it's just going to go somewhere else because you can't teach these other kids, these bullies, that it's not right. Their parents are not teaching them it's not right. So now I have to teach my child to defend themselves. And little Jimmy over there that's, hitting my son, he's going to get the mess knocked out of him. And then guess what happens? After little Jimmy gets the mess knocked out of him, then the principal calls you and suspends your child. How is that? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Okay. First of all, you're going to suspend my child now because he defended himself. Well, guess what? Suspend him. He'll have a nice little vacation at home because he's going to do what I told him to do. I told him to defend himself. Okay. You can't stop the bullies from bullying and hitting other people's kids. Then guess what? You can't stop my kids from defending themselves. I'm sorry, guys. I said it, and I ain't taking it back. I said it. So how you feel? You letting your kids be a punching bag? You letting them be bullied? You want them contemplating suicide up there? No. We can't do that. No, it's just, nah. That's not good. I've never in my life heard such things. Such things. And it's just so common nowadays. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous because you want to be bright, because you want to learn, because you want to do different things that makes you a target to be bullied. How dare these people let their children act this way? It is up to the parents to teach our children at home first. The teachers are there to teach them education. We are there to teach them education too, but also about life itself. My child cannot be somebody's punching bag. I don't care if he's young, if he's old. You can't be nobody's punching bag. It's just, when it starts that way, it just never ends good. It has to stop. Your child has to stop the bullying at some point if the adults are not going to do it in the school. And I'm serious. I believe that's the way. I do. If they can't bring classes to teach these bullies to stop, that they shouldn't be doing this, then we need to teach our children not to stand for these kind of actions. I'm sorry. So when your son come home with a black eye, do not get mad. Because little Jimmy has a foul mouth and somebody punched him in it. And he deserved it. And I don't care if my child gets suspended. He's going to have a nice vacation. He's going to be on a hiatus. I'm going to let him play video games. I'm going to reward him for standing up for himself. Because you didn't do what you were supposed to. So now I have to take things in my own hands. Yes, you caused this. You caused this. I don't want to teach my son these things, but I have no choice because the school won't stop the bullies. Guys, listen to me. I'm sorry. This is how I feel. And, I always say this. Somebody told me, war is never fair. There's no rules to war, okay? So what I mean by that is, let's just say little Jimmy punched my child one time. There was a little Jimmy, and Puddin was in, I believe, seventh or eighth grade. The boy kicked Puddin, okay, in his back. My son had a bruise on his back. And like I said, I told Puddin, go ham. He know don't come home crying. It's hours later now. You gotta get that bully back right then and there. He punched Puddin in the back. Oh yeah, he bruised them. And then you know what Puddin did? Puddin stomped him so bad. I mean, stomped him. He wouldn't stop. Like he kept kicking them and hitting them and kicking them and hitting them. And when the teacher called me and the principal called me, they said, your child must have hit that boy about 20 times and kicked him 20 times. And you know what I said? Who said there's rules to fighting? You touch him, that person's consequences. You don't know how upset you made this person now. They see red and you're in trouble. Now, what? He supposed to kick him one time because he kicked him one time in the back? Listen here. There's no rules in war, baby. You touch me, he's getting you. I told him to. So don't tell me he did it 20 times and the other boy did it one time. The other boy shouldn't have kicked him, period. And now he'll learn to keep his feet on the ground where they're supposed to go. Maybe he needed to get kicked 20 times. Now he'll keep his feet on the floor. That's what I told her. She thought I was crazy after that. I didn't care. My son was an A student. He wasn't taught to go putting his hands on people and putting his feet in people's back. Who does that? Who teach their kids these things? That boy kicked my child in the back to where he was bruised. And then when Stephon turned around and kicked him and punch him, oh, it's too many times. She counting them. Why didn't she count the one time that boy kicked my son in the back? This is what I'm telling you guys. We can't have this. They do things like that. But the person that's being bullied and getting hit first, they don't get in trouble. No, this gotta stop. Guys, drop comments. What are you allowing? Your kids to be a victim or your kids to stand up for themselves and fight back? What you teaching them? What you teaching them in this day, in this time, in this millennium? Drop them comments your girl want to hear. And don't come for me because you know how all of us mothers are with our kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can't be attacking our kids. We ain't gonna have that. Okay? When I see the kids, sometimes I be like, ooh, you get them notions in your head because who wants their child getting hurt? You know what I'm saying? And I'm an adult. You can't do that. Please, guys, teach your kids, don't stand around and just stand there and be, bullied and be picked on and being hit. Okay? I'm talking about somebody physically touching your child, bloody in their nose, and your child just doing this. No. You need to be doing this. Not that. Okay? No. Change the scenario. Sometimes you got to stoop low to get some results. I believe that. Guys, it's your girl Kenyatta, and we do real talk over here. It's real talk. This is not promoting bullying. This is not promoting kids to fight. This is promoting to defend themselves. Children need to defend themselves if they are being physically touched. Drop comments. I want to hear it. Guys, I love you. It's that time. If you didn't do it, go hug, go kiss, go tell somebody you love them. Life is life and it's too short. It's going. The days are flying. Tell your family you love them. When it's too late, you can't do it. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you watching all the time. I appreciate your comments and your love and support. Peace out. It's your girl Kenyatta. On We Gonna Talk About It. And it's real on this side. Always.